I do know what it's like to take the kids to a restaurant to meet mom for dinner when she's on duty and she doesn't show up. And when she does, half the time she's not paying attention because she's listening to that little radio thing in her ear, and not to me or the kids or what happened for the day. It's certainly not that she didn't care. It's that she had to have her attention on what she was doing at all times. In fact, my daughters think it's normal for her parents to come to dinner and then leave 3 or 4 times with lights and sirens blaring, going off into the distance. I also know what it's like to wonder the what-ifs. I can tell when she's seen bad things like an abused child, or unsuccessfully tried to revive a drowning baby, or has taken a report from a lonely elderly woman who's been ripped off of all her life savings. I mention these because we experience the same human feelings and a lot of drama as police officers. And most often we, the cops, try to hide that from the ones closest to us because we care about you. Sometimes we just need space to process the things that we see during a day. So it's important, and probably the most important, that you develop good communications with your new cop and recognize the value of dealing effectively with adversity and not brush it off. Find ways to cope with these things because it's a reality of the life that you've joined in on. More importantly, and most importantly, plan for success. Take opportunities to learn about the job and maintain healthy relationships because the rewards, I can guarantee you, are certainly worth it. Now to the class. Several years ago, country singer Garth Brooks composed the song "The Change." It was a musical response to the bombing of the federal building in Oklahoma, in the courthouse. It was a senseless loss of life and destruction in a single instant act of terrorism. 2 lines from that song speaks of what many see as a seemingly useless effort that we apply every day in the face of overwhelming odds as law enforcement officers. 2 stanzas are, I hear them saying, you'll never change things, and no matter what you do, it's still the same thing. Similar comments are often made about the work that we do in law enforcement and our efforts combating crime, protecting good citizens, and making our society safe. And when our heads are on straight, we realize that what we do is great. Remember, your attitude is everything, and maintain that positive attitude. A few of you, too, may even get to a point in your career where you question the worth of your chosen profession. Cynicism can be the greatest poison to your physical and mental health. I'm lucky to say that in all the years of doing this job, I've never sensed that feeling, and I hope I never do. Work hard to keep your head on straight and keep a positive attitude. You must always know that what you do is of such great worth that is immeasurable. You must always find within yourself the rewards of that work that you do is helping others, even when you do not see it. And despite skepticism cautioned in the song, I guarantee you will change things. Another important trait that we allude to when we're teaching you in the academy relates to the importance of our role as a compassionate caregiver, that which we perform in our everyday duties. Decades ago, this important aspect of the police job appeared to have been lost. It was washed in a sense of false professionalism and distanced ourselves from the public that we were sworn to protect. In today's world, in the last couple of decades, we've gotten back to what's called community policing and crime prevention. Make sure your generation continues to lead police work toward a community of policing the community. They must always be viewed as our partner in the law enforcement function. And while it's not as exciting and glamorous as catching bad guys and chasing people down the street, it's better to prevent a crime than it is to solve it. When you're out there working every day, remember that at the dark end of the road in some people's lives, you're going to be blessed with an opportunity to serve as a ray of hope, possibly the only hope and the only chance time of need. The homeless, the abused and the victimized are going to look to you for leadership, but also for kindness and concern and a giving nature. Do not take this role lightly. Whether you recognize it at that moment or not, many times you're going to be the answer to someone's prayers. Folks, on the stage tonight, I see some of those compassionate caregivers among us, the guardian and protectors of the many. They're going to need your guidance, your peace, and your help. The reality is the greatest work of the street cop is never really known. The crime that was prevented, the victim who was never attacked, the drunk who never killed a family driving home, a child that was guided by the example of a single impressionable encounter, one instance with a police officer. Take to heart this message. One person can and often will make a difference, even if it is only one life at a time. Not necessarily as I said, heroic rescuer or catching some infamous criminal, but in your daily duties and your interactions with the people that you serve. Although you're going to find at times the challenges are insurmountable, never allow negativity and the negative events in the environment to change you. Keep your character, your ethics, and your priority on track. Don't allow them to become stale and embittered. I also see compassionate caregivers among us in the audience. Do not forget who's important in your life. I'll state that you've heard this 3 times tonight, and we did not consult each other on what we presented and talked about. Your family and your friends are number 1. I told you the first day of class I have 3 priorities in my life: my family, my department, and my students, in that order. Although there are always going to be some give and take between these priorities, you need to have them firm and in that order. The last lines of the song that I mentioned before by Garth Brooks is, "But it's not the world that I am changing. I do this so the world we know never changes me. What I do is so the world we know will never change me." At some point in time, you need to cash in on your investments in your personal relationships. You'll need help from that family that you leave. Make sure you have made substantial deposits. Remember, your first priority, again, is with your family. Congratulations, good luck. You've achieved a dream that many others only dream about. Thank you.